All right, today we're cracking open the blueprint for something every investor dreams about, finding those stocks that can deliver absolutely massive 100x returns. Now, this isn't about chasing some hot tip or just getting lucky. Nope. This is about a disciplined, repeatable system that pretty much turns investing into a science. Let's get right into it.
We've all heard those stories, right? The legends about investors who find that one stock that just completely transforms their financial future. They call it a multibagger, a stock that grows many, many times over. But is that just a myth, a fairy tale, or is there actually a way to hunt for these incredible opportunities?
So what's the secret? Is it really just pure dumb luck, a lottery ticket, or is there a method to all this madness? That's the big question we're going to tackle today, and you'll see how having a real system can take your investing from a game of chance to a seriously calculated strategy.
You know, when you boil it down, there are really two ways to play this game. On one side, you've got the gambling approach. It's a total emotional roller coaster, right? You're acting on hot tips, gut feelings, it's reactive, it's unpredictable, and honestly, it usually ends in disappointment. But then, on the other side, you have the professional approach. It's all about process, discipline, logic, a system that replaces all that guesswork.
So how do we get from that chaotic, emotional guesswork over to a disciplined, professional strategy? Well, the answer is a really powerful framework that basically turns the art of stock picking into a science you can use again and again.
Look, the key to consistently finding these huge winners isn't some secret stock tip somebody whispers to you, and it's not some hidden algorithm. It's about building an engine, a systematic framework that you can use to find, validate, and manage these opportunities with real precision. This framework is really built on a few core, innovative ideas. It all starts with 6 very distinct ways to discover potential stocks. Then, it forces you to create a formal, testable case, a hypothesis, for each one. From there, it uses these cool real-time dashboards and really strict emotion-free exit rules to manage your money. And that last part, strategic switching, that's where the real magic happens.
Now, you might be thinking, a framework with this many moving parts? That sounds like a full-time job, and then some. And you'd be totally right, it's not for the power of modern tech. By integrating AI to do all the tedious work, screening stocks, pulling data, this whole system can save you 50 to 60 hours a week. That frees you up to focus on what actually matters, thinking and making smart decisions.
Okay, so let's dive into the very first pillar of this framework, the hunt. How in the world do you find these hidden gems in a market with thousands and thousands of companies?
You start with the entire market, right? Over 8,000 stocks. It's completely overwhelming for any one person. So the system acts like a giant funnel. It uses those 6 specific discovery pathways to narrow that vast ocean down to a really manageable shortlist, maybe 50 to 100 high-potential candidates. And that's where the real work can begin.
These 6 discovery pathways are like your dedicated hunting grounds. Sector-driven is all about finding companies riding huge megatrends. Quality turnaround looks for those beaten-down stocks where, if you look under the hood, the fundamentals are getting better. Think shrinking debt, expanding margins. Variant perception is the ultimate contrarian play. It's where you say, the market story about this company is just plain wrong, and I've got the data to prove it. Each pathway gives you a unique way to find that hidden value.
Okay, so once you've found a promising candidate, the real work starts. You've got to move beyond just a simple idea and actually build a formal, rigorous, and testable investment case. This right here is the key difference between a professional and a gambler.
This template, this is the core of the whole process. It forces you to be incredibly specific. You're not just saying, I think this stock will go up. No way. You are articulating exactly how much you expect it to grow, precisely why the market is wrong, and what specific events or catalysts will prove you right, and all within a set timeline.
A hunch is just a feeling. A hypothesis is a defensible case. It has to have a clear story, specific catalysts, a real timeline, and a handful of key metrics you can track. These metrics are your objective way to measure if your investment case is playing out like you thought, or if, maybe, it's time to reconsider.
Look, having a great thesis is only half the battle. Disciplined execution is where most investors completely stumble. They let fear and greed take over and dictate their decisions. A rules-based system is the only antidote to that kind of emotional investing. This dashboard is basically your command center for disciplined execution.
Every key metric from your hypothesis gets tracked with the super simple traffic light system. Green means you're on track. Yellow is a warning, like, hey, pay attention here. And red signals your thesis is broken and it's time to get out, before things get worse. It's your early warning system.
Having these predefined exit rules is so crucial because they take your emotions out of the driver's seat. If your thesis is proven wrong, you sell, period. No questions asked, no hoping it'll come back. You also have systematic rules for taking profits, selling parts of your position at preset milestones to lock in those gains and lower your risk. The rules make the decisions, not your gut feelings in the heat of the moment.
All right, now we get to what I think is the most powerful part of this entire framework, creating a compounding machine. It's not just about finding one 10x stock. It's about building a system for absolutely exponential growth.
The math behind this idea of strategic switching is just, wow. Instead of holding one 10-bagger for years, you aim for a series of smaller, high-conviction wins that you compound over time. A 5x return rolled into a 10x return, and then into another 10x return. Well, you can see how that leads to explosive growth. Of course, this takes incredible discipline. You have to know when a company's best growth is behind it, signaling it's time to redeploy that capital.
Let's just walk through the numbers because they are pretty staggering. Your initial $10,000 grows to $50,000. Then you switch that $50,000 into the next opportunity and it becomes $500,000. Then you do it again and that $500,000 turns into $5 million. That is the incredible power of strategic portfolio rotation.
So the key takeaway here is this. The ultimate goal isn't just to find that one single 100x stock. It's to build a system, an engine that can consistently generate these 5x and 10x returns and then compound them over time. This is the real path to building truly massive wealth.
So I'll leave you with this question to think about. Are you spending all your time searching for the right answers, or are you focused on building the right system? Because the answer to that question could be the difference between getting lucky once and building lasting wealth.